Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this meet and greet with the Kings 11 Punjab team. As you know, we are the beverage partners. We are the proud beverage partners for the Kings 11 Punjab team, and they are making waves right now. I mean, from being bottom of the table to having won five matches on a roll. They are really making waves, and I think, I mean, if I mean, honestly, there's a table. There is the table toppers. There's a fair play award, but if there was an award for most exciting matches in this IPL, I think Kings 11 Punjab would surely take it. They've had some of the most exciting finishes. I don't know if any of the players have their nails left after all the nail biting finishes that we have had. Uh, I mean, I think who can forget the two back-to-back overs that we had, the super overs that we had, and that was one of the best finishes I've ever seen in an IPL match. So, I mean, without waiting further, thank you very much. We have got our top performers from the last 2 months on this call. So, congratulations, and you get this chance to at least virtually meet and greet three of our guests. There is Jonty Rhodes, there is Mujibur Rahman, and there is Ravi Bishnoi. So welcome everyone. Thank you. I will just confirm that we have got all three of them online. So I won't keep the presentation on for long. Obviously, you want to. I mean, I've got a confirmation that we have got Mujibur Rahman as of now. As you know, Mujib is a mystery spinner from Afghanistan, and we've got him on right now. I mean, he even played in the CPL and was the highest wicket taker in CPL. Uh, we're just asking them to start their camera. 5 minutes. 5 minutes for others to join. So I think what I will do is I'll go through the introductions once all three have joined. Just waiting for all three to join. Excellent. I've got confirmation that all are in. Thank you. So I was just giving an introduction on how exciting the matches for Kings 11 Punjab were. And we are also very excited to have three of the team members, Jonty Rhodes, Ravi Bishnoi and Mujibur Rahman. So just to give a quick introduction, if
Hi, Rohit.
hey,
Hello.
so if
Rohit,
anybody
can you
say
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Uh,
Can you switch on your video as well,
yeah,
Madhukar?
so yeah, the players are here, and in the next second, we are going live with them. I'm just putting the video on. And over to
All
you.
right.
thank you.
Here we go.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. I mean, honestly, I think you missed the wonderful introduction that I gave. I was just talking that, I mean, there is the points table, there is a fair play awards table, but if there's an excitement table, I think Kings 11 Punjab would be on top of the excitement table because the kind of matches that we have seen. I mean, I'm even surprised that any one of you have your nails left after the nail biting finishes that we have had. Yes, I can see your nails, Janti. So the kind of finishes that we have had, we haven't seen such exciting matches ever. And going from bottom of the table to, I mean, to ensuring that you will have a place in the playoffs, that's a huge turnaround. So congratulations to your team. All three of you have played a huge part in it. So I'll just quickly go through the introductions. We are excited to have you on. We have our top performers on this call today, six of our top performers from September and October. So without further ado, I'll go directly into the introduction. So, I mean, when I see this picture, I always like to say that if anybody says humans can't fly, they haven't seen Jonty Rhodes fielding. That's how I would put it. So played for South Africa between 1992 and 2003. I mean, I would say the best fielder I've ever seen in the world, no doubt. I don't think even in the current generation there's anyone who has the same fielding ability that Jonty Rhodes has. I mean, define the template of today's fielding, has the world record for highest catches taken in a match. I mean, other than the wicketkeeper, Jonty Rhodes holds a world record. This was against West Indies, and who can forget that World Cup run out of Inzamam? I mean, that was like a turning point. I mean, we totally loved it. So that's about Jonty Rhodes. Ravi Bishnoi, we are not going to ask you to explain this picture, Ravi. Don't worry about it. That looks pretty intense, but he's a rising star of Indian cricket, no doubt. And I think it was in the match against Japan in the under-19 2020 World Cup that he took 4 wickets without even giving 1 run, and he ended up the highest wicket taker for India in that. And he's the second highest wicket taker for Kings 11 Punjab in the current IPL. And all this while he's just 20 years of age. So amazing, amazing, Ravi. And of course, Mujibur Rahman, the mystery spinner from Afghanistan. He made his debut for Afghanistan at the age of 16. He's the youngest player in the world to take 5 wickets in one ODI match. He's the youngest player to play the IPL at 17 years of age. And the CPL that was just before the IPL, he was a leading wicket taker as well. So that's with the introductions. I will put off my presentation and I will go on so that we can go into the questions. We have got our top performers to ask you the questions. So can I have Iggy start off with a question for Mujib? You're on mute, Iggy, and this is one comment that you get to hear on a video call always. Iggy, for Mujib. Still on mute. Okay. Okay, while Iggy figures out how to unmute, let's go to Raju for a question from. Okay, we have got Iggy.
Super over.
Hi guys, hi Jonty, hi Ravi, and hi Mujib. As Matthew said, what an exciting Kings 11 Punjab team we have. You guys were, at the initial stage, at the bottom. Now, what kind of a magic you guys have done, and then to come up to the number 4 at the table now, super performance. Now. We also have a super performance in Oman Coca-Cola for the last 2 months. So I would like to ask who shall I ask, Matthew, the first question?
Mujib, Iggy. I'm going down from the youngest to the most youngest. Which is
Mujib, the mystery spinner. You are considered as the mystery bowler. Can you bowl leg, off, googly, okay, all sorts of the kind of the kind of a bowling? So, what is the secret in doing this one, Mujib? Share your experience with us.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thanks. So I'm part of Punjab Kings 11 Punjab team. I'm very happy. Yeah, first when I start cricket, we try to start to first tennis ball. Every ball like carom ball, half break, and googly. First we start a tape ball, and after when I start come to academy and hard ball, that time my finger is like too weak, and after me try too much to ball like every day like 10 overs, half break, carom, and googly. After then strong. Then every time, like every day, my overs in a day, like 15 overs and 12 overs in a day. And after this, a good.
Wonderful.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you. And obviously, he won't give you his secrets. There are still more matches to go. So, okay. So, Sanjay, why don't you ask a question to Ravi?
Hi Ravi.
Hello.
First of all, congratulations for such a fantastic performance. It's really amazing. You guys are really doing well. Uh, Ravi, the question to you is that who is your role model in cricket world and why so? Can you just share your thought process behind this?
Yeah. My role model is like Anil sir and Shane Warne. I used to watch them.
No. See, Jonty, he's not taking your name. Yes, he deserves that.
He's a role model for everyone in the field. But in the morning, I used to watch Anil sir and Shane Warne when I was growing up, and you watch YouTube videos of them. I used to follow them. They were my idol.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your thought.
One of the reasons why you said that is because Anil Kumble is also part of the Kings 11 Punjab team. Yeah, I know. So, Abraham, you get to ask a question to Jonty.
Sure. Thank you, Matthew. And hello to all three of you, and a special hi to Jonty. Hi. Jonty, I think we all are huge fan of you. You know, you are the best fielder of all time. We are mesmerized by the way you pluck the ball from the air and taking the catches. My question to you is, what makes you that special fielder? Is that you happen to be like this from the you love the fielding from the beginning, or is that you happen to be a great fielder with the motivation, seeing and hearing from people? So what made you that great fielder?
Thanks for the question. I think it's a really interesting one, because I think whatever you're doing, whether it's playing sport, in industry, there is no shortcut to success. It does require hard work. But the key there, you spoke about, did I love my fielding? And that was, for me, probably the most important makeup of why I became such a good fielder. I was rated as the #1 fielder in the world for a while, but there was no #2 or #3. Nobody else wanted to field. The guys saw me and thought, who's this crazy kid and what is he doing? But throughout my school career, I was already known as a good fielder, because in South Africa, when we play multi-sports as kids at school growing up. And we also have good sporting facilities at our schools. And in the backyard at home, we had Mujib spoke about tape ball, tennis ball. We had a tennis court at home, but we probably played more cricket. So not too much fielding on the court, but we were very active. I'm one of 3 boys in the family. So you can imagine, all competitive, all playing sports. But fielding was something that I really loved to do. And I have a little bit of energy. I'm not too sure if you've noticed that. Even now and again, I'm going to tell Jonty, especially in the dugout now, there's no ways I can use all this energy. And as I didn't bowl, my bowling was a mystery. Because the mystery was, how did I manage to hit the middle of the bat every time I released the delivery? I hit the middle of the bat, 100%. So I never bowled in the game. So I had all this energy, and what do I do with it? I was around the field, diving around, and it wasn't, unfortunately, I wish I'd said, yes, I saw a gap in the market. I have a Bachelor of Commerce degree in marketing, so I should have understood the whole policy and the process. But it wasn't a case of seeing there's a gap in the market and I can get in here and be the #1. It was a case of, I love my fielding, I have lots of energy, and I put in hard work too. But the hard work wasn't during the game. The hard work was in the build-up to the match. And my father's a teacher, and as a teacher also a sports master. And he would just say, your teachers will tell you, your coaches will tell you that practice makes perfect. And he said, sadly, that's half the story, because it's perfect practice that makes perfect. So from an early age, I was practicing like I was in a match situation. And I think that certainly, it helped my fielding. It gave me many roasties at practice, many grass burns, sore fingers. But come game time, I was ready. So what you saw in the matches was just a continuation of the build-up to the games. And that's what's amazing about these guys. They're professional cricket players. I was a university student, playing field hockey in the winter, cricket in the summer. These guys are playing 10 months of the year, and they practice really, really hard. And that's the key, what we try and get across as coaches, that when the game starts, it's too late to bring your A game. You have to live your A game. I think it kind of relates to every industry that you're in, whether it's sport or whether it's business. You can't just wait till the meeting to be at your best. You have to be at your best the whole time. And these guys are exactly that. So as youngsters, you know, you think from a mature, age-wise, very young, but already very mature cricket players, which is, as a coach, always exciting to work with. Sorry, taking too much time.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. It has been, you know, you're a great communicator as well. No wonder why you are one of the best coach as well. Thank you.
And you made his day, Jonty, because you said your background is in marketing. Abraham is also from marketing. The question that Abraham is not asking is what's the secret of your beautiful hair, which.
yeah.
Okay. I will go with Raju for a question for Mujib again.
Hi, Mujib. Raju this side. Now you have a great companion by Rashid Khan from Afghanistan. You guys are becoming a great combo from Afghanistan, coming out as great spinners. My question to you from Kings 11 Punjab is, how is it getting coached under legend Anil Kumble?
Question. Yeah, Rashid Khan is a good bowler. Every league he performed very well, like energetic, like confidence. This season is also bowling last season. In this season is ball very well. And also Anil, I am asking to Anil how can to bowl in this pitch, or how can to bowl grassy wicket or slow wicket. Every time I'm share him share experience with me. Is a good, and also I'm asked to Vishnu. I'm asking to how to bowl like this because he's a good bowler. I'm asked to him everywhere. Like if the bowling well, I'm asking how to bowl here in this wicket. Is a good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mujib. So I have a question for Ravi actually. So who is the toughest batsman that you have bowled against, Ravi? I mean,
toughest batsman is, I'm very lucky that boss is in our team only. He's the toughest batsman to bowl.
Okay, so good you don't have to bowl against him. That's what you're saying. That's good. And Jonty, the number of catches that were dropped this IPL, did you ever feel like getting onto the field and actually catching those catches? Because I mean,
you might have noticed that Ravi's just moved out of screen because we dropped in fact, in the first 4 games of the tournament, we only dropped 4 catches. KL was 1 at mid-off. Gotham was 1 at mid-wicket. But somebody on my right-hand side, he dropped 2. But you know, they were running catches, full-length dives. So as a fielding coach, you kind of think, well, what would upset me more is that if he ran and allowed the ball to bounce and said, sorry, I couldn't get there. You say, well, how do you know you couldn't get there? And that's been, you know, my whole philosophy as a player is, you know, if you don't go for the ball, if you don't go, you'll never know. Because that sort of, I try and encourage the players. Obviously, we work under match situations as much as possible, but you try and encourage the players to go for it because you don't want them to think, oh, Jonty's writing in his notebook, Ravi dropped a catch. I will look at the technique because for us as coaches, it's mainly about the process and less about the outcome. Because you can imagine there's certain things that you can control as a cricket player. You know, are you ready for the ball when it came? Your body position, there is a technique to it. But there is no guarantee that you're going to have a 100% outcome. And it's, again, in any industry. You know, there are many variables that you have no control over. So did they come to practice? Have they been working hard? Were they ready for the ball? You know, now at least there's no spectators in the stadium. So Vishnu, you'd be sitting there, you know, waving to the cheerleaders maybe, and you drop the ball. But now there's no one in the crowd. So I know, was he focused? Was he expecting the ball? And then I have no issue. I mean, I really don't, because I was a player. I dropped catches. People remember me for my catches that I took, but I dropped a lot and I missed a lot because I was going for it. And I think that is what I'm trying to install in the players. If you don't go, we'll never know. So go for it, regardless of the outcome. What was the process? And so far, the process has been amazing. Those are the only 4 catches that we've dropped throughout the tournament. And we've taken some pretty spectacular ones too.
That's, I mean, I think what you just said is not just true in cricket, Jonty, it's true in the sales, in business as well. And I know many of our top performers here would take these lessons, go for it. If you don't go for it, you don't know. So Very good lesson. Thank you. I'm going to make a flag of that and put it behind me for sure. Thank. Om, please go for your question. He's the first one who said I want to ask a question to John T. So Om, please go ahead.
Hi everyone, and no, it is very fortunate that I am able to ask my question to John T. because no, I am watching you from decades now, and I used to always think, how can he feel like this? It is no close to impossible. So I have two questions. First question, like you had a very long career, and even today you are playing like no 20-year kid. So what is the secret? No, what is the secret for you to maintain your energy and your fitness? And how many hours you spend every day to maintain your fitness? Or what are these two secrets which I can no follow in my life to have a long career and also maintain my energy? And second question, like no, how are you balancing your life? In no, when you are prioritizing on one thing, obviously something will be also no in lagging. So how are you balancing that?
Sure. I just think with regard to the balance, obviously in India it's slightly different. In South Africa we had a 5-month lockdown, so I was at home, no work, and it's the first time I've spent at least 2 months, consecutive months, at home without having to leave home and go and work. So from a balance point of view, it's been very difficult to maintain that family work balance or that life work balance, and it's certainly. It's been demonstrated to me as a husband and as a father that I have to look very carefully and closely at the work commitments that I make myself available for. Because up until now, it's been, I retired, I then worked for a bank, and because there was no IPL in 2004. Since IPL, you can, and the various T20 competitions around the world where the guys are playing, there is work available a lot of the time. But it's about choosing that correct balance. I think with regards to the energy and staying healthy, I've been involved and love coming back to India since the IPL started. Because as a player, you see the airport, you see the hotel, and you see the ground, and that's it. But now as a coach, I get on the infield, get on a bullet, and I ride, and I get out, and I meet people, and I eat food on the side of the road. And the guys who are riding with me said, "No, don't eat that. What will happen to your stomach?" I said, "But guys, I'm local. I've got 2 babies born in India, both born in Mumbai." And so I really feel like I'm a local. But for me, the big concern is that, and I see it in India a great deal, especially when I go to a few talks at corporates, is that lifestyle is very difficult to have that balance. Firstly, you spend 2 or 3 hours on the road. I know it's changed now because of the pandemic. But prior to that, commuting was long hours in the day. Then working for the corporate required a lot of your time. Then where do you find time for yourself? So my health, my sort of mantra is not about I have to go to the gym. Now I'm stuck in the hotel, I go to the gym. But before, it's walking with my children. Take your dogs for a walk. It's climbing up the stairs. And I'm always amazed. In India, when you have tea, always 2 cookies. Why? Why 2 cookies with your tea? I mean, it's crazy. So every time you have a cup of tea, there's always 2 cookies to dunk and you eat it. So the key for me is if you can include 2 small things, 3 small changes in your daily life, that goes a long way to good health. And I think it's about laying a good base and a good foundation. It's not about changing something drastically 100% overnight, because you might be revved up for it for 2 weeks, then suddenly you've got, you have a bad week and you don't get to the gym again, and then your gym clothes are lying in the bottom of the floor or in the cupboard somewhere. So something that you can change, small things that you can change, just start improving, because it's amazing. Your body starts to recognize what it needs and what it doesn't need. We just have to listen to it.
Thank you.
Thank you, John T. I think Om is actually thinking of hiring a personal trainer now based on what you said. I've got some spectator questions in the chat, and this is I think some of them took the memes about Khalil wanting a hug from Preeti Zinta after refusing that run, and when you needed 13 runs from 3 balls. I mean, there were a lot of memes around it. But the question is, does Preeti actually hug players who play well? I mean, I don't know if it's. I mean, you don't need to answer the question. It came on the chat, and there's a follow-up question to that as well. How can I become a Kings 11 Punjab player then? So let's not go into that question. But here's a question for Ravi. in the last 4 to 5 years, leg spinners have gained a lot of importance. Why do you think that is the case, Ravi?
Everybody is important in the cricket. Every bowler, off spinner, leg spinner, medium pacer. But if a leg spinner is in the team, he will get you some wickets. But he will, whenever it's a good day for him, he will give you some wicket. But it's a bad day, he will give you some more runs than a wicket. It's a part of the game. If he is bowling good, and he will get you some wicket. That's the only thing. Because it's Jonty gonna give answer.
No, I just think what's, as a coach now, I've sat on the side and I've watched a lot of T20 cricket, and this change it hasn't been from the outset. Usually it was a left arm spinner just to keep it tight, restrict the batters. But we've seen now is that in the batting power play, the players go hard, and then they, that middle period from over 7 to 14, if you're not taking wickets, the opposition hurts you in the last 5 overs. So the key there, and where we've been really fortunate, you got mystery spinners, leg spinners, wrist spinners who can take wickets. And like Robbie said, I mean, you might get an over that goes for 10 or 12. But if you pick up 2 wickets, it puts you in a much stronger position come the last 5 overs of the innings. So that period between 7 and 14, where a lot of the times now you'll see the 2 leggies bowling in tandem, that for us is dynamite in a team environment. And again, a reason why the team has done so well.
I agree, Jonty. And I mean, a follow-up question to what you just said. Mujib is known as a power play specialist, but Mujib, is that forced upon you, or do you really like bowling in the power play?
Yeah, and when I start cricket, that time we not bowling like the power play. When I start under 19 cricket, after that we start for circle bowling. But I know everywhere I play, like I know this is my bowling place. I bowled 3 over in a power play, and I'm trying to, if I'm not playing on the game and the net, I bowl to new. How come to bowl like in the power play? How come to field? Where's my field position is my strong.
Wonderful. And I know it takes a lot of heart to bowl in the power play as a spinner. So wonderful. I mean, you guys are doing amazing. I should say that. Now I know we are tight on time. So one last question for you, Jonty. As you're aware, we have top performers from all 4 countries: UAE, Oman, Bahrain, and Qatar. Now, what do you tell your top performers in your team after a match that you can tell our top performers on this call?
Well, I think the key, I mean, we often speak as a team about learning lessons in the game. So regardless of the result, whether you've been successful, whether you won or lost the game, there's always lessons. And I think that the biggest danger, because when you lose a game, you look at everything quite in depth. But my biggest concern is that when you are successful and you carry on winning, you sometimes forget what has got you over the line. And I think that's a key. I mean, we've now, having won 5 in a row, we still are very analytical, and you want to, there's paralysis by analysis by paralysis by analysis. So you can overcomplicate things, but you got to remember, when you are being successful, you still have to go back and check again that process. So for me, it's not about the outcome. I am looking at the process. So the guys who are being successful in what they're doing, it's not a case of, okay, now it's because changes are happening on a daily basis. It's not happening in your market or on your desk. You got to believe it's happening with your clients. So I think that's the key, is that you can't afford to sit and go, okay, I've got this under control. We don't. We won 5 in a row, and we're just focusing on the next game, doing what we've done, the basics well, and not expecting the outcome just to happen. So I think the key with regards to success and failure, we always focus on the process, because that, everyone asks, how do you recover, especially if you're a South African cricket fan and it's a World Cup and you never get through to the final and never win a damn World Cup. How do you recover from the ups and downs? And it's about staying emotionally balanced and strong through wins and losses. But the wins, I think, are the most dangerous, guys, because you think, hey, it's happening, it's under control, we're doing great. It's a case of, what did we do? Let's analyze it and let's do it again. So well done, it's amazing. But it's been an incredible year. It's really exciting thinking about what we can do in 2021. So don't rest on your laurels.
Perfect, John. Yeah, thank you. I think we are at the mark of 2:30, what I wanted to say is thank you very much. In today's call, we have had more spectators than you have at your match. We have had nearly 300 people watching this call. So, I mean, that should be a good feeling to leave with. So thank you very much. Thank you to the top performers. Congratulations. It was really good spending this time for you, and I'm sure we learned a lot from it. Thank you, Rohit, for arranging it. Thank you, Sheikh, for the IT support. And thank you. Thank you very much. And may Kings 11 win this IPL.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Come on, guys. They gave us a Punjabi bite. Well done.